Imagine waking up one morning and finding your name trending worldwide. Not for a blockbuster film or a stunning red carpet look, but because a simple photo of you in jeans and a white tank top has sparked a cultural war. This is exactly what happened to Hollywood actress Sydney Sweeney, and what followed wasn't just another internet backlash. It was a full-scale online war where opinions exploded faster than wildfire. Welcome back to HollyLeaks, where we dive deep into the celebrity stories. The mainstream dares not touch it all. Began when Sydney posted a few casual photos from a new Miu Miu ad campaign. The photos seemed harmless. She wore a basic denim outfit, minimal makeup, natural hair, and posed with an almost blank expression. That's it. No statement, no stunt, no provocation, just denim. But in today's hypersensitive digital world, nothing is ever just anything. Some users praise the images for their raw authenticity, calling Sweeney a breath of fresh air amid overfiltered fake-looking campaigns. Others, however, launched a full-blown attack on her, accusing her of being a poster girl for anti-woke conservatism. Apparently, a woman wearing jeans and not smiling is now political. But wait, it gets wilder. Conservative commentators jumped in saying Sweeney represented the return to traditional values that Hollywood needed. They praised her look as modest, elegant, even patriotic. Somehow, a denim outfit became a symbol of right-wing pride, and then came the backlash to the backlash. Liberal voices and progressive influencers blasted those takes, accusing Sweeney of dog-whistling to a conservative base. They pointed to her past associations like her family's political affiliations and a controversial birthday party where a guest wore a Blue Lives Matter shirt. Suddenly, Sweeney wasn't just an actress. She was the face of a so-called cultural war. She never asked to lead, and yet she stayed silent while the internet burned. Now the silence, some argued, was her statement, a way to say she's above the drama. Others said it was proof that she agreed with the right-wing fans supporting her. Either way, the noise around Sweeney wasn't dying down, and neither was the division her fans split into camps, some saying let her live, others demanding she clarify her stance. And through all of this, Hollywood remained eerily quiet. No major celebrities came to her defense. No big statements from her team, and the brand Miu Miu didn't comment either. They just kept the ad up and watched the chaos unfold like a modern gladiator match in the Colosseum. But here's where it gets even more fascinating, because this controversy didn't just live online, it seeped into newsrooms, talk shows, op-eds, and late-night monologues. It became a conversation about feminism, beauty standards, personal freedom, and the weaponization of image. How did a simple photo become a lightning rod for America's culture wars? The answer may lie in Sweeney's image itself. She's blonde, blue-eyed, curvy, and carries a kind of 1950s American idealism in her look. And many people project onto her what they want to see. Some see her as a feminist icon taking control of her body and career. Others see her as a rebel against woke Hollywood. Either way, she's being used as a symbol and not treated as a person. And that's where this story becomes more than just celebrity drama. It reveals something deeply unsettling about how we consume culture today. We no longer allow stars to just exist. They must stand for something. They must pick a side, and Sweeney, by saying nothing, became the most talked-about symbol of the moment. And it's not just fans doing the projecting. Think pieces came out, dissecting her facial expressions in the ad, her clothing, the lighting, even the poses. Every detail was turned into meaning. Some called it the new minimalist rebellion. Others said it was covert conservative propaganda. It sounds insane, but it's real. This is where we are now, and while all this noise surrounds her, Sweeney continued filming, attending events, promoting her work, acting like nothing was happening, which of course added more fuel to the fire. Her critics said her silence was complicity. Her fans said it was grace under pressure, and yet no one actually asked what she thought. The entire conversation was built around assumptions and projections. And now other celebrities are feeling the ripple effects. Brands are second-guessing campaigns. Publicists are advising their clients to avoid anything that could be misinterpreted. Even something as simple as denim. Because if a pair of jeans can start a political debate, then nothing is safe. And Sweeney, She remains at the center of it all. A woman who posed for a photo and accidentally became a lightning rod for every cultural issue you can imagine. And maybe that's the real story here. Not what she did, but what we did to her. How the internet culture spins simplicity into scandal, how narratives are built without facts, and how easy it is to turn a person into a battleground. All because we can't stop projecting our issues onto the people we watch. This isn't just about Sydney Sweeney. This is about the state of fame today, and it's only getting louder. Welcome to the age, where nothing is apolitical, not even a white tank top and some jeans. And if you think this story is over, wait till you see what happens next, because part 2 is where things take an even darker turn from brand backlash to coordinated smear campaigns and secret alliances in Hollywood's PR machine. And as the storm around Sydney Sweeney kept swirling, it seemed like nothing could slow it down, because after the denim ad, aired outrage turned into trending hashtags, which turned into headlines and then into full-blown political commentary, as if a single commercial could light the fuse on a national debate. And yet it did, because everyone wanted to weigh in and defend or attack or analyze or mock. And there in the middle of it all was Sydney, a young woman with a rising career now being turned into a symbol for something she may not have even signed up for, and what made it more chaotic was how everyone started connecting her name to bigger movements and issues. Some claimed she was a victim of cancel culture, others said she was playing into right-wing fantasies, and the conservative media wasted no time making her their champion hosts. From top networks ran clips of the ad with slow motion, replays, background music, and bold text overlays, painting her as America's sweetheart under attack by the woke mob. And it worked because their audience latched onto it as if protecting Sydney meant protecting America itself, and the right-wing politicians saw gold here too. Suddenly, you had senators quoting the ad on the Senate floor and congressmen retweeting her face with captions about freedom and tradition. And then came the merch t-shirts and mugs with her quote about confidence in denim flew off shelves. And Sydney Sweeney became a cultural lightning rod, despite having said almost nothing herself, and yet even silence wasn't protection, because the backlash hit hard from the other side. Progressive influencers started calling her out, asking why she didn't speak up about the way her image was being used. They pointed out how her silence was allowing her to be used as a tool for division, and even some fans began to turn questioning whether she was really just a puppet, or maybe she actually supported the political wave forming around her, and through it all, her PR team tried to manage the chaos. They issued statements about staying focused on acting. They arranged soft interviews where no tough questions were asked, but nothing seemed to slow the storm. And all the while, the ad kept playing millions of times across the internet, across political platforms, across reaction videos and commentary channels, and it became more than just a commercial. It became a litmus test. People began asking others what they thought of the Sydney ad as a way to find out where they stood politically. And that's when the real irony hit, because an ad meant to sell denim had now become a cultural wedge tool, a media echo chamber, a political football, and perhaps most importantly, a case study in how quickly fame and controversy can collide in the digital age. And for Sydney Sweeney, who had done nothing more than appear in a pair of jeans, the pressure became overwhelming, because every time she stepped outside, every time she posted on social media, or did a new interview, someone somewhere twisted it into part of the narrative they had already created, and she tried to stay neutral, tried to remind everyone that she was just an actor, not a spokesperson for any side, but neutrality doesn't sell. And it definitely doesn't stop the viral machine from chewing and spinning every word, every smile, every outfit, and turning it into content for someone's agenda. And soon the pressure began to show. She canceled appearances. She pulled back from social media. She was spotted leaving events looking tense or near tears, and yet the media kept pressing because her name still generated clicks and comments, and for every article defending her, there were 5 more dissecting her silence, her expressions, her history, even her family. And somewhere in all of this, Sydney Sweeney started to disappear. Not the real person, but the idea of her, The actress, the performer, the woman who had once just wanted to tell stories on screen, and now she had become a battleground, a meme, a brand. And through it all, one thing became terrifyingly clear: fame. In 2025 didn't require scandal, it required virality. And once you went viral, your image was no longer your own. It belonged to the internet, to the pundits, to the fans, and to the haters. And that's what happened here. Sydney Sweeney went viral, not because of a misstep or a crime or even a bold statement, but because she was beautiful and confident in denim. And that was enough to spark a cultural war. And as HollyLeaks followed the aftermath closely, we saw something deeper than a celebrity moment. We saw a warning about how quickly anyone, especially women, especially public figures, especially those who choose to stay silent, can be pulled into battles. They never agreed to fight. And perhaps that's the real story. Not the ad, not the politics, not the clickbait, but the quiet unraveling of privacy, of personhood, of control in an era where fame is instant and unforgiving, and where silence is no longer a shield. It's a target. And yet despite everything, despite the whirlwind, despite the pressure, despite the noise, Sydney kept going. She signed new roles. She returned to events. She smiled through interviews, and maybe that's what resilience looks like in 2025, not fighting back, not clapping back, not issuing long statements or fiery tweets, but simply enduring, simply showing up, simply surviving the storm without losing yourself. And so the denim ad will fade. The hashtags will be replaced. The outrage will move on. But the scars and lessons will linger, and HollyLeaks will keep watching. Because in this new digital landscape, the next viral moment is always just a scroll away, and the next symbol could be anyone, even you. So like and subscribe to HollyLeaks for more stories that go beyond the noise and into the truth of fame, culture, and controversy.